Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful day so far. Today is indeed the day that SundaeSwap launch on Mainnet, and we are going to do a video covering everything to do with Sundae, how to swap, provide liquidity, and so on and so forth. However, currently the status of them officially launching is that they're actually going to enable swapping at round about quarter to 10 UTC time, 21:45 UTC time. So we've got a couple of hours to wait. So what I thought I'd do is very quickly mention what we're going to go over. I'm actually going to wait up. I'd be up anyway, but certainly wait for the launch, and then I will film a video and get it released shortly after of how to swap and how to provide liquidity. So far, all you can do currently is provide liquidity if that's something you're interested in. You are going to need, people that want to use SundaeSwap that already haven't put the preparations in place are going to need either a NAMI or a ccvault.io wallet. I'm going to be using NAMI. I'll be connecting a NAMI wallet up, putting maybe a couple of 100 ADA in there. I'll be doing some swaps to show you how that works, how to sign transactions, etc., etc. Talking you through some various things about, how I use a wallet. For example, typically if I'm storing a large amount of money on a wallet, I'll have a cold wallet, which essentially is a wallet that I will install on the browser, transfer my funds into, then delete from that browser so that it's not connected to any browser that may have access to the internet. It just minimizes your risks of getting hacked. And then what I'll typically do is have a hot wallet that I'll use for transactions as a kind of gateway in between. So we'll talk you through a number of things. I'll also buy some tokens and then actually add them as liquidity to just show you everything involved. You can currently provide liquidity. You can see some of the liquidity pools are already forming. If you go to more, you can click provide liquidity, so on and so forth. I'll also talk you through some of the risks with providing liquidity, like impermanent loss that can become permanent loss. Forgive me, guys, I'm exceptionally excited, but things are looking fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. You can see some of the prices being set. Currently, huge discrepancy between MuesliSwap and Sundae. So we've got 63 ADA on SundaeSwap for LQ, which is liquid, and you've got 75 here. You've also got things like ADA Finance. We're going to be bringing a video out after this one covering ADA Finance because they've got some exciting things happening. And you guys know that we've covered a lot of projects such as DanaSwap, Liquid, ADAX. We're going to get into more as they all start to roll out. So very exciting day. Wait up if you can, or catch it tomorrow for that video. I wanted to include everything at once. So that video will be coming. Very excited to do it. I'm excited to play around with it myself, and I'll be sharing that experience with you. I've already trialed out the testnet. I'm hoping the mainnet, or the experience of the mainnet is, not that the testnet was bad, but a little bit better. Certainly the updated testnet was quite an upgrade in terms of an experience. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to look at a few basic things. We'll take a look at the overall market. Seems a little bit more perky. Cardano seems to be a bit of a heartbreaker. Now, what I mean by that, and we've got something interesting that I want to share with you in just a second in regards to the EMAs and why you could be setting up for a pretty epic move. I believe an epic move for ADA is just around the corner. I honestly think that we are going to see new all-time highs in a short period of time, and the DeFi dApps turning on could be the very catalyst for that, and we've covered that in previous videos. But Cardano seems to be very good at having these pumps and then these kind of dumps where it retraces. But to me, this is just a retracement. Given what's around the corner and what that's going to do for the demand for ADA, people are going to want to start interacting with DeFi, and they're going to need Cardano. If you look at SundaeSwap, for example, all of these tokens are in opposition with ADA. Now, that doesn't have to be the case. Eventually you are going to have, for example, LQ into Dana or something like that. But for now, there's going to be a huge demand increase for ADA. There's also probably going to be a huge demand increase for people buying ADA to actually farm with it, which we're going to be doing in terms of providing liquidity, which I'll show you in the later video. So what we're starting to see is more and more get locked into DeFi. But back to what I was saying about the price, it tends to pump and dump. But I'm going to actually show you something. For those of you that watch my daily cryptocurrency market update videos, we covered the fact that Bitcoin had a def cross on the daily, and how this wasn't really significant in any way, shape or form, because typically your def cross is here, which is where your 50 EMA goes underneath your 200 EMA. It's a you know, you have a golden cross and a death cross. Golden cross is typically good and means that, you know, you're going to continue going up, and death cross means that you're probably going to continue going down. But with death crosses, what you will notice, so this was the last death cross that we had, you can see that the majority of the move to the downside had already taken place. So they can be almost a bottoming out structure, in the contrary to what most people think. Certainly in the crypto space, remember, these traditional indicators were typically or are made traditional for really the traditional world. So crypto moves in a completely different way, and they have, in my opinion, less of an effect, but still somewhat are a good one, like the 20 MA, which we use on our charts to kind of signal strength and weakness in a market. You know, if you're holding it and you're kind of climbing above it, that's a good sign that you're strong. And if you're getting it coming up and hitting your head below it, it's a good sign that you're weak. So this was the last S-cross, it's the one we currently had. And we've always said that this move over here was getting mimicked over here, and that we ultimately think that you're going to see continuation. Similar thing with the last F-cross that you had, took place over here, which at this point, you pretty much already started to recover, or the majority of the move had taken place. So it could indeed be a reversal structure, on the contrary to what many people are saying. So I'm not worried about the death cross on Bitcoin. What I then did was forgot to take the indicator off for Cardano. So your 50 is above in yellow, and your 200 is below in red for danger. Now, since this bull market, you haven't actually formed a death cross until just here, which we covered in great detail and said that we weren't really that worried about it. If you look at where the death cross occurs, you know, from this point, we've not gone that much lower, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that really interests me was something that's taking place, because if we look at the sell-off that happened in March 2020, which was caused by a pretty cataclysmic event, you know, we had a death cross over here, and then what you'll notice is here we broke above the 50 MA. We came back to test it as support before we saw this run in shoe over here. Now, are we at the same point today, ladies and gentlemen? Potentially. If you look at what's taking place over here, you can see your death cross. And now, for the first time really since this death cross formed, you're coming back and you're holding it as some sort of support. So does this mean we're in for a similar move? Well, potentially. There's a number of other metrics and data points that we've looked at, fundamental reasons like the DApps turning on, etc., that suggests Cardano is about to go on a journey to the upside. That is my stance. And this is just one more. Could you be doing the same thing that you did over here? Over here? Potentially, we've looked at things like RSI, we've looked at all these kind of bottoming or traditionally bottoming out indicators. And this would also tie in very nicely with the kind of journey that I believe we're on. You know, this is our Elliott wave theory, 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4th wave, and now I believe we're on the 5th wave. I think it's very kindred to this schematic, or akin, I should say. People saying a kindred is not a word, I couldn't really care less. You clearly understand what it means. But this, you know, it's just something interesting, food for thought, something that I look at. I look at this chart probably a lot more than I should. And, you know, I can certainly see a similar thing, certainly taking place with the moving averages that took place over here with the 50 and the 200 currently. So it's an exciting day, guys. We're seeing the total value continue to go up. If we add the staking, you can see it's actually at 15 million. Saw a bit of a decrease. Obviously, VY Finance makes up the majority of that, as they have staking. They also have NFTs. You guys know that I do a CNFT series on the show. I've been very into the CNFT space. NFT space, not generally, really just the CNFT space, which is the NFT space, because there's a lot of money to be made there. And we are going to do some more updates on that series. So there's lots going on. It's going to be very interesting, this launch, because the Cardano network is sort of already at a pretty high load in comparison to what it's, you know, what it can actually do at 100%. So we are expecting congestion. One reason why I'm not going to do this live is simply due to the fact that there could be a little bit of delay in between, and you guys are just going to basically have to look at my face whilst I wait for something to load. So I'll pre-record it, and then I'll release it shortly after, and I'll show you everything to do. So it's going to be late tonight, but it's really something that I want to get out for you guys today, so that you can use it as a reference point and a bit of a roadmap as you go on your scooping journey, as you eat your ice cream. So swaps, like I say, we've got to wait until this period. You can still create a pool or deposit liquidity. We won't be creating a pool Maybe we might be creating a pool. I'm only going to play around with probably like a couple of hundred ADA. For the sake of the video, I'll connect a hot wallet that I'll probably delete after. But what I will do is maybe if I decide that I want to use some of my ADA and some of my other tokens, create a pool, I can also show you that as well. Very exciting day, guys. A big congrats to our pool, by the way. Lots and lots of small pools out there are shutting down currently, and it's not nice to see. And they're shutting down due to the SundaeSwap ISPO. You can't blame people, to be quite honest with you, for going and staking with Sunday. That's not what I'm here doing. You know, I think it's you guys' choice. This channel was all about you guys making money. That was why I started it, to help the retail investor on his crypto journey. So I have no beefs with that whatsoever. So it does sadden me to see that. Certainly, as a lot of these people have been influential community members, but I'm very happy that we are still minting. In actual fact, we minted 5 blocks this epoch. We had a bit of a dry spell, but we've actually minted 5 blocks this epoch, and we still have 1.4 million, which looks like every single epoch we are going to continue to mint blocks. Something I'm absolutely over the moon about. I'm extremely happy. And once the SundaeSwap, 5 epochs of the SundaeSwap has kind of come to an end, I'm hoping that we get well above 2, 3, 4 million Cardano back within the pool, and we really establish ourselves and start doing things as a community, as the ALLIN community. So that's really what I have for you in this video. We are seeing MuesliSwap and a number of other things, not MuesliSwap, sorry, Liquid, and a number of other tokens actually see a little bit of a pump. ADA is actually doing all right, but this, in my opinion, will be because people are buying them for the specific use case of providing liquidity. Does this mean that we might see a drop when SundaeSwap launches? Potentially, but then again, you've got this whole huge side of retail that is now going to gain access to these tokens. So remember, if you're not already prepared to use SundaeSwap and it's something you want to do, go get yourself an army or a CC vault. They're set up in very much a similar way. You will have a seed phrase that you need to write down. Don't store it on your computer. Write it on a piece of paper. Copy that piece of paper and hide it away. If you lose that seed phrase, you are, for lack of a better term, screwed and will not be able to reboot your wallet. And don't store it on a computer just in case you get hacked. Who knows? And you guys should all be using a VPN, in my opinion, just because it's an extra layer of defense on the web space. All I have for you in the video, guys. I will see you later on today. There's a video after this one coming out in regards to ADA Finance. We covered them ages ago, and I thought it was high time, given the fact that they are going to be launching in the coming weeks. Or potentially coming months. We're not 100% sure on a date, but I know they've got their audit coming up, and we covered them previously on the public sale. They did quite well, so I thought it was a good time to maybe sort of refresh everybody on that project, as we've covered a number of other DeFi projects. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.